Wow. Wow. We'll wait. We will wait. I went live yesterday, but it was late and my energy was not high. I am back live today to regroup and talk about what is going on right now. I can't even believe it. I went live yesterday like so late that I almost thought I was dreaming. And then I woke up this morning. For the first time in a long time, I've thought about the New York Giants in a positive way. I woke up and I go, last night was not a dream. Last night was not a dream. It is reality. It is happening. I can't believe it. The New York Giants are hiring John Harbaugh to be their next head coach. Yes, I went live yesterday. Yes, I've talked about it before, but I wanted to come on live today to talk to the chat, to talk to the community when my energy level is higher, when I've had the day to process all of this information, everything that has happened today, stuff that's come out from the media regarding the whole process. I mean, it's a historic day in this league, I think. I don't say that very lightly. I also would say that if Harbaugh went to another team, if he went to a team like the Falcons or the Titans, it would be a historic day regardless. John Harbaugh being at the Baltimore Ravens for 18 years and leaving and winning a Super Bowl, having the immense success he had, and then leaving that organization, again, essentially getting fired, and going to another organization is historic. It really is. You don't talk about coaches that kind of just jump franchises, all the time. This just happens once, and once in a very, very long time. But this moment is historic. I talked about it yesterday, but this is just something that Giants fans have wanted for a very long time, something that I've wanted for a long time. Not necessarily a John Harbaugh. Justin Zenchuk says historic. Indeed, it is historic. Justin Zenchuk. Indeed, it is. But this is really what I've wanted for a very long time. Someone coming in here and changing the mediocrity and the despair and the depression of this franchise and this organization. What the Giants have done in the past decade is hire a multitude of coaches that, are given shots, are given opportunities to prove themselves by, being a first-time head coach. Ben McAdoo, Pat Shurmur, Joe Judge, Brian Dable. You know what I'm saying? This is historic. It absolutely is historic, and I can't even believe it's happening. Now, I'm not going to come on here and say, like I did yesterday, that the Giants are going to make the play. I'm not saying the Giants are making the playoffs. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that this has the ability to change this franchise very fast and very quickly. You can't deny it. I mean, everybody wanted John Harbaugh. Even teams that wanted head coaches reached out, or teams that had head coaches already on their roster reached out and asked John Harbaugh, what are you thinking? I mean, he's a white whale. You don't get opportunities like this once in a while. Getting the right head coach is extremely hard in this league. We all know it. Giants fans, we know how hard it is to get a good head coach. It's almost impossible for us. But John Harbaugh is a good head coach. This is what I wanted. Tyler Loop missing that field goal on Monday, or on that playoff game against the Steelers, might be one of the best things to happen to this franchise. Again, I don't want to get too over in my head. Obviously, Dez, I appreciate you, Dez. Dez is so excited. Dez can't believe it's true, but it's here. It's unbelievable. I wanted to come on today when my energy level was higher. Like up this chat, guys. We're going to be here for a little bit. I want to get some content. I want to talk to the chat. Want to see what people are thinking. Talking about kind of the process, giving flowers to people. We got to give people flowers, of course. People are going to be saying this, guys. I'm telling you right now, a lot of people are going to be saying next year, regardless of how we draft, regardless of free agency, people are going to say the Giants can be a playoff team. There will be a lot of people also saying the Giants are still going to suck no matter what. They suck always. Now, obviously, I know that this team has broken my heart in thousands of different ways. I'm used to them breaking my heart countless times. This could blow up in our face. This could. It absolutely could. But it could also change the trajectory of this franchise immediately and very fast and very quickly. And it could happen as soon as next year. It has the potential to do both things, but I think a lot of people expect it to be good. The Giants had an opportunity to get John Harbaugh as soon as he was available, which I could not believe, though Ravens fans will tell you that it was time for him to go. He spent his tenure at Baltimore for 18 years. Disappointed fans of Baltimore that he did not reach another Super Bowl with Lamar and Derrick Henry and that defense. And it's disappointing. It's very disappointing. And it was just time for him to go, obviously. But in reality, the New York Giants are so awful. And we all know it. And I know it, that the depression of Baltimore is like heaven to us. If Baltimore makes the playoffs pretty much every year, but they can't get over the hump, imagine how happy we would be if we were in that situation. This is why the league is so crazy, because one man's trash is another man's treasure. Anyway, I woke up this morning thinking that this was a dream, and it was reality, and I still can't believe it. And here we are. Let's talk to the chat. Des says we go be the new Cowboys. Why are we going to be the new Cowboys? I don't want to be the Cowboys. Meaning like we're never going to make the Super Bowl. Did he sign, bro? He did not sign yet. I don't think he's signed yet. I don't think he's going to sign till in a while. Everything is coming out in spurts. Pretty much every media outlet has pretty much confirmed it's happening. He just hasn't signed yet, but it's basically done. I thought yesterday he was going to actually go to Atlanta or the Titans to visit his home. He already had made arrangements for that to happen, but he's just not doing it. He's not even going. The Giants convinced him enough in the building to sign, and actually he took a deal in the afternoon, but it was very quiet. It was very silent, but then it got out late last night, and that's kind of when this whole thing kind of just popped off and happened, and that's when I went live, but I wasn't sure if it was real or not, but it is real. It's true. It is going to happen, and you got to celebrate this one, Giants fans. You got to do it. I mean, I understand that it's so easy to get in over our heads and talk playoffs and talk whatever you want, and I understand it's very easy when you are so bad for even this past year, how bad we were. It's easy to get in your head and talk about, oh my God, playoffs next year. Let's go. But again, you got to remember to keep it level. Understand that, celebrate this moment. This could be a moment that you look back in on 30 years saying this moment changed this franchise. You could talk about when Tom Coughlin was excommunicated from this franchise 10 years ago to now, January 15th, 2026, as the dark ages of the New York Giants. When I talk to New York Giants fans, older New York Giants fans, they talk about this 1970s being the roughest time. This decade of suffering and misery rivals the 70s. Obviously, if you're an older Giants fan, you could tell me if I'm wrong or not, but when I've talked to them in the chat, in other streams, and wherever, that's what they've told me. It's been bad, and we all know it's been bad. And for other teams, it's even been worse. Unfortunately, other teams are not like this team, which is exactly why I think John Harbaugh signed with this team. The New York Giants are still the New York Giants. Regardless of how bad we are, regardless of how much we suck, regardless if I don't want to walk outside with my hat, regardless if I don't want to walk outside with my sweatshirt, regardless if I want to, rep my Giants merchandise outside, I don't want to do it. As bad as they've been, they are still the New York Giants. They are still a perennial team in this league, a cornerstone franchise with major history, 4 Super Bowl wins, 8 championships. They have history, but history is only history. You need to start to make new history. And the Giants have been so enamored on providing or reminding people of their history without creating new history. This is where that changes. This is where that changes. And I truly believe it. As soon as he was available, I knew this is the guy to get because there is no one like John Harbaugh at all. This just doesn't happen every year where a John Harbaugh comes out in the head coaching search that one lucky team is going to get. This never happens. Never happens. You have one shot, one opportunity, and the butterfly effect of things that happened from Joe Judge to Pat Shurmur, or I should reverse that, from Pat Shurmur to Joe Judge to Brian Dable to drafting Jackson Dart, all happened, and it made way for this moment right here. Celebrate this day. Enjoy this day. This is what you all have been waiting for. This is what I have been waiting for. It has the potential to truly, and I really mean it, change this franchise for good. And I mean for good. I don't mean like for a couple years. I mean for good. I mean it. And again, I'm not confirming it. I'm not saying raise your expectations to playoffs next year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it has the potential to turn this franchise around and make the Giants an actual threat in the NFL. But guys, let's talk to the chat real quick. Captain 3089 says Harbaugh fired in 4 seasons. Maybe. I doubt it. But maybe. We don't know. We have no idea. But we do know that Harbaugh is the best head coach in the cycle. You can argue that he's one of the best head coaches in the league. I said this yesterday on stream. What Harbaugh did this year, I think people are shocking at what Harbaugh did this year with the Ravens, even though like they should have made the playoffs and they should have won a couple games and whatever. What Harbaugh did this year with the Ravens, I don't think is getting enough credit, even though, yes, they should have made the playoffs. Yes, they should have maybe gone to Super Bowl a couple years ago, whatever. But that team was done. The Ravens were done by week 3 or 4. They were done. And every week you knew that they had a chance because the team was competitive and good. And Lamar got injured, but whatever. It all shook out that they basically had a playoff game at the end of the year to determine if they're going to make the playoffs or not. Tyler Loop hits that kick. We might not be talking about this right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how things work out, but in reality, this is the truth, and it's unbelievable, and I can't believe it. And here we are. I mean, let's talk to the chat. With better Cody says with better coaching this season, we would have won 4+ games. I'm confident for next season. Yeah, I mean, this year again, you can point out many reasons. There's no doubt. Like, let's make no mistake here. They have problems to fix. The run defense, the depth, we all know it sucks, but the foundation is there, and we understand that. The foundation of the Giants is here. We get that. You look around, offense and defense, there is pieces there. We see it. Even other teams can see it. I'm not rose-colored glasses. There are pieces on this team. The depth isn't there. The run defense is still very bad. But there are pieces. And again, I think when people talk about the situation, why did John Harbaugh pick the Giants? Well, we won't know that answer until he says it probably next week at his press conference. But a big reason, if you're lying to yourself if you're not saying that Jackson Dart wasn't a big reason of why he picked the Giants. I'm not saying Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in the circuit of who we could have picked. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying him being there is a big reason of why he probably took the job. And the fact that the Giants are not at the start of their rebuild. They are in the middle of it. They have pieces. They don't have to start from scratch like the Tennessee Titans do. They have to start from scratch. You have Cam Ward, but everything else needs major help. The Atlanta Falcons, their quarterback situation is confusing. So I think that the Giants are very attractive. Even the Raiders, like, they are starting essentially from scratch. You have to draft a quarterback. And I guess and John Harbaugh maybe wanted a little bit of stability, a vision. He's going to want control. And I guess we won't know until we hear it next week from him. But there are a lot of reasons why he picked this job. And I think we just gotta accept it. Now, before I continue with the chat, we got to give people some flowers. And look, I will bash anybody. I'm not afraid to. I will bash ownership. I will attack the coaches that have sucked here. I will attack Joe Schoen. We got to give flowers. Give your flowers to John Mara. The guy's battling cancer. Nobody likes that. I hate that. Nobody should be battling cancer. All right? Regardless, John Mara wants this team to win no matter what. He wants the team to win. And people will say he's got to sell, ownership's got to sell, whatever you want to say. I could agree to an extent. But the guy just wants to win at the end of the day. The fact that he was in the building when John Harbaugh came, it probably meant a lot to John Harbaugh, and it shows that he really wants this to happen. Give your flowers to John Mara, and even give your flowers to Joe Schoen. The fact that Joe Schoen being on the Giants, in the Giants front office, and Harbaugh still saying yes is shocking, but also shows that maybe you got to give more credit to Joe Schoen than like a lot of people initially thought. If Joe Schoen wasn't here, would he still be the head coach? Who knows? We will never know, but he is, and John Harbaugh is here. So that's you got to give credit to Joe Schoen, and give credit to a guy that I would probably not give any credit to other than drafting the quarterback, Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll getting fired when he did and not waiting for the Giants or not the team waiting to hire him at the end of the year, maybe changed everything. And also Brian Daboll calling John Harbaugh to sing his praises about the New York Giants job. When have you heard a coach done that before? I've not heard a coach do that before, but maybe some coach has done that before. But Brian Daboll called John Harbaugh saying the Giants job is great, and probably saying his praises about Jackson Dart and a couple other teammates and stuff like that. But give your credit where credit is due. The Giants made this happen. For an organization that we dogpile on for being incompetent and lazy, and they don't know what they're doing, they locked in for this. They really did. They did not let him leave that building without getting him to sign, because they knew that if they let him leave without signing, it could be wraps. And they did not let him leave the building without signing, or at least agreeing to a contract. Give the Giants credit for doing this. You got to give them credit, and I'm proud of the organization for getting them for this organization that we've been so down on and dogpiled and just feel so embarrassed all the time. It feels good to be proud of this organization again and give your praises to them, and really just embellish in this, because this does not happen all the time. It rarely happens when something like this happens. I'm telling you, this is a historic moment. Regardless of where John Harbaugh would have went, this is historic. If John Harbaugh went to another team, regardless of where he went, it still would have been a historic day. This is historic. This is historic not only for the New York Giants franchise as a whole, because it is, but for the NFL as a whole, it is extremely historic, and we will see. Let's talk to the chat. I've kind of said what I needed to say, but yeah, crazy. John says, bro, hope he signs. John, he's going to sign. He's going to sign. I mean, we would not be getting all this information if we did not know he's going to sign. Why is it historic? Because it's a guy. It's historic because a guy being at an organization for 18 years that won a Super Bowl with them gets fired and goes to another team. It doesn't matter what team he went to. I would have called it historic if he went to any other team. But regardless, he is joining a team. Just in general, it's a historic day. I'm a fan, but I don't like Harbaugh. He's past his prime and overrated. Ray, I think a lot of people would disagree. I think I would disagree with you. I don't think he's past his prime. I can understand why you say that. I just really wholeheartedly disagree with that. I don't think he's past his prime. There's not a lot of good head coaches in this league. There's just not. And if you look around, you wonder who the good head coaches are. And there's a lot more bad head coaches than good head coaches. There's a lot more head coaches that don't even get the chance than bad head coaches in reality. So you're not going to find many good head coaches, and the ones that are good, you hold on to. And Baltimore held on for him for 18 long years, and they gave him time and they gave him opportunity after opportunity. And it was disappointing of how it ended in Baltimore. Obviously, Ravens fans will tell you, and we see it and I see it. And it was majorly disappointing that they didn't make a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl in Baltimore a second time with Lamar. But he was there for 18 years. And that doesn't just happen. That doesn't happen. Like, that does not happen. We have not kept a head coach for how long? Think about it this way. It's been, 10 years? How many head coaches have we had in the past 10 years? How many head coaches have been on this team for 10 years? Regardless of who we hired, interim head coaches too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6! Stop. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're doing. Crazy. 6. What's after? I don't know. Maybe JJ says maybe Raven Center comes to New York. Maybe. He's Linderbaum's a free agent. Our cap is interesting. I don't know exactly the number of it, but it's not exactly high, but it's not exactly it's not something you can't work with. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure Linderbaum's going to ask for a lot of money because he's pretty good. Regardless, someone should be, competing for that center spot this year with John Michael Schmitz. In Baltimore, you can have him overrated. Baltimore fans will tell you. Baltimore fans will tell you that he sucks. Baltimore fans will also praise him, but also say that he sucks. Like, I get it. Like, if you've spent all that time with a dude for 18 years and he's only brought you one ring and you have all the ability in the world to make a Super Bowl, you're gonna whatever. Like, you're gonna bash him. Like, I get it. I understand, but just understand our position here. We are the butt of every joke. We are awful. We are garbage, trash, whatever you want to call it. We have suffered. All right. We have really suffered and cried and wondered, when is it going to change? And this provides an opportunity that we have not had since Tom Coughlin. But even when you hired Tom Coughlin, I don't know if it was this much excitement. It might have been. To you, Leo. I do. Whatever you say, Jets will always have been worse. Well, look, the Jets are the Jets, and the Jets are the Jets. And unfortunately, I want the Jets to be good because I feel bad for Jets fans, because I actually do want the Jets to actually be competitive. I do really feel bad for them. And I don't know when they're going to be good again. Shit just got to fall in their lap in the right way. Like this situation fell in the lap of us, and I just can't believe it did. Hush, my Falcons fan job of that. Well, I guess in terms of your history, I understand, Thomas, but we really have been the butt of every joke. Like, we are incompetent. Like, when people talk about the Giants for the past 10 years, you don't fear a threat at all. You don't cower in fear. We're not threatening. We suck. We are bottom of the barrel, joke of the year every year, embarrassment. Like, that is how bad we've gotten. Like, there have been countless moments of embarrassment with the boat picture, with the QB sneak on 3rd and 1, or 3rd and long, with the Joe Judge, with the Ben McAdoo's, with, we've been the butt of every joke. And I've lived it, and a lot of other Giants fans have lived it. And again, every fan from every other team will tell you that the grass ain't always greener on the other side. Sitting here today and this moment happening is a big one for a lot of Giants fans, me and myself included. And I know people will be contrarians and say the Giants are still going to suck. Harbaugh's overrated. What people in the chat are saying. We get it. All that is going to happen because everyone's going to want to be in, contrarians and, stuff like that, and believe what they want to believe. I get it. There's no reason to think that the Giants are actually going to be good next year because we've sucked for the past how many years? Like, there's no reason. If you told me the Giants are still going to suck, I'm not going to debate you on that. I'm not going to say, well, we got John Harbaugh now. I'm not going to do that. I know this team has disappointed me time and time again. I'm not an idiot. I'm well aware of the disappointment this team has caused me. But what I will tell you is that we haven't had an opportunity like this. We haven't. So it feels good to win one. It feels good to actually get the guy. And I mean, we could debate all day. We won't know till next year or how many other years down the line, but it's an exciting day. It is. Is it official? It's as official as you can get without being 100% official. I mean, it is practically official. Practically. Giants playing Niners next season going to be epic. It's got to be insane. Here they're signing LT. Yeah, that would be something, right? Big Ravens fans here. Mr. Spanish says, big Ravens fan here. You got yourself a great coach. Well, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you, and thank you for your kind words, and we're looking forward to it. We hope that you guys get yourself a good head coach as well, because that's hard to do. Man, it's hard to do. I mean, it's not easy letting go of a guy like that. Let that be clear. It's not easy letting go of a guy like that. It was time in Baltimore, but it was time. Trust me, he's not that good and makes a lot of stupid calls. Okay, we'll find out together then. I mean, well, I'm not immune to stupid calls. I mean, again, Ravens fans telling me you're not going to like John Harbaugh. Like, bro, like, what have we been dealing with for the past 10 years, bro? It can't possibly get much worse than what we've had to deal with. It really cannot. Like, anything is better. Anything is better. Like, it cannot get as bad as what we've had to deal with. Ravens fans coming in here telling me John Harbaugh is going to suck. Fine, he's going to suck, but it can't be worse than what we had to deal with for the past 10 years. It can't. Ready for this era? Let's go. Let's go, Devontae. Let's go, Devontae. Real Benda, you're sharing my sentiments right now. We've been through way worse. If the worst that you guys are gonna get is not 8 and 9, yeah, 8 and 9. I'll pop champagne. I'll jump off my roof. Hopefully with the net on the bottom. I'll be so excited. 8 and 9. But you know what I mean. I think a lot of people decided for 8 and 9 here, which is sad. Don't get me wrong, but if people would sign up for that like that, you know what I'm saying? They only get 6 wins, Maybe they get 6, maybe they get 11, maybe they get 2. We don't know. We don't fucking know. The playoffs are still happening right now. We have no idea what's going to happen next season, but this is the step in the direction this franchise needed. This is the guy. This is the decision. Everyone counted out the Broncos coach, got fired from the Saints, and look where he is now. Sean Payton. Sean Payton's number 1 seed in the AFC. And we'll see what they do this year. People don't really believe in Bo Nix. People believe in that defense, but people don't believe in Bo Nix. But we'll see what Sean Payton does. Ryan McLean says, I prayed for this, and it happened. Ivy says, we're 4-13. It's only up from here. Look, if Ravens fans are going to come in here and say, or people are going to come in and say, John Harbaugh sucks, it cannot be much worse than what we've had to deal with over the past 10 years. It can't. It really can't. Hey, man, don't like Harbaugh, man. I wanted Chris Shula. Harbaugh is the NFL's Doc Rivers. That's a wild thing to say. Doc Rivers. I would not make that comparison. Who do you want as DC? Well, I don't know. I could tell you right now, OC, Rappaport came out and said Monken is probably going to be the OC, which is great. I trust Harbaugh. At this point, I don't really have a name in mind. I really trust him to get the people in here that, look, give him the keys to the castle. If he wants to hire who he wants to hire, I'm fine with it. I really don't have a preference in my mind. If Monken comes here, that would be spectacular. I trust him. I do. I really do. I cannot wait for the press conference. I can't really do it on TikTok. But maybe I'll do it on YouTube. I'll live react to it. It's the Giants. They can't make him any worse. That's what I'm saying. Wink. Harbaugh already did that song and dance in Baltimore with Wink. I don't know if he's going to do it again. I also don't know if Wink would ever come back to the Giants. I don't know. Go get Big Henry. Ran him 8 times last year in the playoffs. Yeah. We know. I know. I watched it. I'm well aware. We can make the playoffs. I'd be happy. I'm punching the air, Nat says. I don't know, man. Harbaugh won a Super Bowl 2012. Couldn't win with a generational quarterback upside, man. I know it's disappointing. I know. But he gives you leadership in. He gives you stability and leadership in a time where the Giants have not found that in a head coach in 10 years. They have not found stability and leadership at all. And they've tried to find young offensive or young coordinators that giving them a shot to see if this person can be the next head coach to lead this team to the promised land, but they failed every time. The option is get a head coach that has done it before, that can win, that can win, that can lead, that can hold people accountable, that can do all these things without questioning it, and bring him in here and see what he can do. The Giants need more than a head coach. They need a leader. They need a CEO guy to hold everybody in that building accountable. Past general management, past ownership. John Harbaugh is that guy, regardless of how you feel about him, regardless of he should have won another Super Bowl with the Ravens, regardless of what you think about that, you know that he can do those things. You know that he can hold people accountable. You know that he can lead. Brian says the New York Football Giants are back. I'm not going to go saying they're back, but they are on their way of being back. This season, but this past year, I have been saying next year you could turn this team around very fast and very quickly. You can do that, but you need the right head coach, and you really need, I wanted Joe Shane fired. He's not fired, and he might be a reason of why John Harbaugh's here. We don't know. But regardless, he's here. And I told you that this team could turn it around very fast and very quickly. And with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbu and Malik Neighbors, and now you got to re-sign Wandale Robinson, which I believe you have to, with Andrew Thomas, with Jermaine Illuminor, or you also have to re-sign with Brian Burns, with Abdul Carter, with Dexter Lawrence. And that's all I can muster right now. Well, you want to spit out Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland, that's fine. But I also told you that I strongly feel, and I think this kind of confirms it, unless he gets taken to the top 4, I think the Giants will take Caleb Downs. I've made that prediction in December. This brings it up pretty higher. You know that Harbaugh loves his defensive boys. I think the Giants taking Caleb Downs if he's there. If he's not, who knows? I do think they're going to take Caleb Downs. Who knows? They could take a receiver too. Carnell Tate's still there. Obviously, Jordan Tyson. We don't know. I just have a feeling in my gut, the same feeling I had about Abdul Carter, the same feeling I had about Malik Neighbors. I think Caleb Downs is going to be a Giant. I do, and I that would be unbelievable get. Cut drop areas. Yeah, I know. Darius Slayton is a problem. We all understand. Darius Slayton, yeah, we know that he's been an issue. They signed him for 3 years. I don't think they're going to let him go, unfortunately, but I don't know. But I understand he's frustrating, and we get it. I understand. They need some more depth in that wide receiver room, no doubt. Tone says, man, I'm excited for anything. We're due for a solid season. This year's preseason had me pumped. I'm happy the preseason pumped you up so much. It's crazy. If Drop Arias is still here, Wandale leaves. I don't think that's true though. I think that I want Wandale back so bad. I really believe in Wandale, and I think a lot of guys believe in him too. And I really do like him. And I think he has the potential to be a really good receiver. I've always said that Wandale plays his best when he's not the primary focus of attention, and he essentially was the primary focus of attention in the past. You know, the latter half of the season when Neighbors went down. So, our money needs to go to interior O-line, or another wide receiver. Oh, not another wide receiver. I understand. There might have to be some tough. There might have to be some tough decisions. There might have to be some tough decisions. With that, and if the Giants have the opportunity to sign, Linderbaum, that would be huge. But again, we're gonna have to see how things shake out. We can only take one thing at a time, though. I better have a draft of a lifetime. We had a draft of a lifetime last year. Well, I guess after last year, well, no, I mean, we had a very good draft last year, a very good one. I don't know if I'd say there are any misses other than Corey Black, or maybe Darius Alexander had a couple of good plays there, but it was a very good draft last year. As an Eagles fan, Giants draft Jeremiah Love. Bears or Rams? I gotta go with the Bears. I don't know. I think the Bears are just winning. I don't know why. I just think the Bears are going to win. I don't know why. Call me crazy. Rams by 40. Cut Jalen just because. He's gone. He's gone. Evan Neal's gone. Jalen Hyatt's gone. Deontay Banks is gone. They're all gone. Goodbye. Seahawks or Niners. Dude, that is going to be a game to watch. That might be my most anticipated game of the week. It's gonna be a battle because those two teams hate each other. Those two teams hate each other more than most. And Brock Purdy's 4-0 against the Seahawks, so we'll see. Giants 26 Super Bowl champs, dude. Leonard Weaver for DC. Leonhard was another name that it could be a DC. That would be unbelievable if they got Monken and Leonhard. Expectations. We all saying this, but we know what will happen to us next year. Dez got so optimistic that he has now turned pessimistic. Dez got so optimistic last year, every game saying we're going to win, that he said, you know what, we suck. We're never going to be good again. So he has turned pessimistic. I'm so excited for the Giants. The owner gives a shit. Jets owner shouldn't own the Jets. Yeah, Woody Johnson should sell the team. Clearly, he has no business running that organization. Clearly, he doesn't care enough. Clearly, he just thinks it's a side project for him. And I know Jets fans are frustrated, but maybe he'll sell it one day. But we'll see. We will see. Who should the Giants draft? Shredded Flaherty says, I've said Carnell Tate before. I just said that I really think they're going to get Caleb Downs. There are options for them at 5. We'll have to see how it all shakes out, but I think I'm not worried about the selection at 5. Let's just say it that way. I'm not very worried about it. But I think Downs is my guy if I were to tell you right now, but he could be gone before 5. You never know, but you never know. I'm a Cowboys fan. Michael Jenkins says I'm a Cowboys fan. Darren Harbaugh, a dangerous combo for real. Look, there's a reason why Harbaugh came here. I'm not saying it was just Jackson Dart, but he's a big reason of why he took this job. And if Jackson Dart was not here, we probably aren't talking about this. If we're being honest, we're probably not talking about this. Now let's get Linderbaum and Likely. We're just going to take all the Ravens players. Probably not Likely. Linderbaum, maybe, but probably not Likely. Likely not Likely. But we'll see. We'll see. It's so crazy to me that, and I guess you can kind of embellish me for a second. I went to the Eagles, and people that watch my stream know this. I went to the Eagles-Giants primetime game this year at MetLife Stadium, and it was the only Giants game I went to this year. How lucky am I? One of the better days as a Giants fan watching that. And and yes, it happened, and yes, we kicked their ass, and they kicked our ass a few weeks later. But what I saw in that game was a glimpse of the future. And even though it was coached by Dable, regardless, it was Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo leading the team to a victory against a team that we have not beaten in a proper way in years. And they do it on prime time. They do it in front of the home crowd. And I saw a glimpse of what this team could be like in the future. And I saw it. Not next year, not in 2, but 3 or 4. A glimpse of what this team could potentially be with this quarterback, with this roster of talented young players. There are a lot of issues with the Giants. I understand it. I watched them all year. I'm well aware of it. You don't have to tell me they suck. I know they suck. That's why we need Harbaugh to fix it. That's why we need a lot of things to fix it. I'm well aware that they suck. But let me tell you that there is a world next year you're talking about this team in a year. In 1 year from now, we're talking about this team and we're still watching games. Not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying there's a world where that happens. Who's your pick for DC? Personally, I'll take Hafley or Minter. Angelo, if they're probably going to take a head coaching slot, they're not going to be available. What I will tell you is that if we somehow get Leonhard, that would be unbelievable. But we'll see. I have no idea. I trust John Harbaugh. I do. I trust him more than myself to make decisions. What about Antonio Pierce? Again, I don't know. I don't think so. AP, look, I like AP, obviously, but I'm not in love with him as a DC. I really am not. He could have a role in the organization, but maybe not as a DC. We'll see. Mike Jim says Harbaugh will change the culture, and the culture has sucked since Coughlin left. Like I said, you need a guy that you know is a leader, that you know that can hold people accountable, that you know that could take ownership of his style and his ability to coach. You need a guy that can do that, and you need a guy that knows how to do that. You can't be hiring guys, and they've tried to do this for the past 10 years. They've hired guys that you think they could do it. You think they could do it if given a chance, but you just don't know. You know that Harbaugh can change the culture. You know that Harbaugh can change the attitude of this team. Harbaugh can make this team relevant again. It's not you think, you know. It just has to be executed in the right way. And this is the way it happens. Extend Coach Priscilla. There is a world he comes back, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And my guess is that we will probably have a primetime game week 1, but I don't know. I could be that. Could not be that. That also could not happen, but we'll see. Yeah, because he did so much with the Ravens last season. He did. He did. I think what he did with the Ravens last season was equally as impressive. I mean, that team was dead. And you could say, well, they have so much talent. Yes, but they were dead. And when you're a dead team by week whatever, you're dead. That team had essentially a playoff game week 18, seeing if they can make it to the playoffs. Tyler Loop hits that kick. We're not talking about this. So I think what he did was impressive. And if he did make the playoffs, you go, wow, John Harbaugh's a genius. Wow, John Harbaugh. Oh my God, John Harbaugh. Like, you are glazing him if they make the playoffs. They probably won't make the Super Bowl, but then he'd probably be fired after that. Whatever. It's quite a spin. Well, I'm just telling what I think. I'm just telling what I believe to be true. I just can't believe this is happening. And I just cannot believe that we are here in a world where this exists. Is the deal done? Matthew Weiss says it is not done, but it is done. It is as done as you could say. Ian O'Connor has been a guy that has basically kind of talked through the whole hiring process of John Harbaugh. Ian O'Connor is a journalist. He has basically confirmed that this is a done deal. There's no concern that he is not going to do it. He is going to sign. Giants winning 7+ next year. You're gonna see a lot of people saying the Giants are making the playoffs. You're going to see a lot of people saying the Giants aren't. It's going to be a very mean split. Well, it's going to be a mean split regardless, I think it'll be a pretty mean split about the Giants are going to be good or the Giants are going to be bad, because there's no reason to think other than hiring John Harbaugh. The roster hasn't changed at all. It's still the same roster. But yeah, Nato says, thankfully Shane didn't turn off Harbaugh. You got to give Shane credit for that. I mean, you got to give him at least a little bit of credit, regardless of how you feel about Joe Shane. I'm not a fan of Joe Shane, but regardless, he's general manager, and Harbaugh is going to be the head coach. So give him credit. Shane gets too much hate. There's talent on the roster. W Laps, I have given Shane credit where it's due. I will give him credit today. I've also bashed him for decisions that are due, like many draft picks he has missed upon, and bad decisions. We can rattle them off, but he's made some good decisions and he's made some bad ones. And Unfortunately, the wins have not been there, and they want to chalk it on the head coach. That's all good. That's all fine. But it's true. It's true. As a Dallas fan, Dable helped Shane. He really did. He really did. It's true. He going to use Dart and Scout just like he did with Lamar and Henry. Well, hopefully not like Henry. They're two very different quarterbacks, two very different running backs. Derrick Henry is not like Cam Scatterbo. Jackson Dart is not like Lamar Jackson. They're very different. John Harbaugh had success with Joe Flacco. John Harbaugh had success with Lamar Jackson. They didn't win the Super Bowl in Baltimore, but unfortunately, that's just how it shakes out. Regardless, it's hard to win a Super Bowl, but he had success with both. Eagles were secretly going after John, FDJ. They probably were, or at least they were going after Todd Monken. He's probably going to be here. Oh, just love it. Love it. But does this mean that John Harbaugh is the best head coach in the NFC East? Is it true? Is it? I think you would have to say yes. He is the best head coach in the NFC East, just by a statistical standpoint. Opinions and regardless, you want to say, but he is the best head coach in the NFC East. Does that make the team the best team in the NFC East? No, not at all. But the best head coach, yeah. Absolutely. What was my reaction when Jerry Jones traded away Micah Parsons? I was shocked. I went live. I was shocked, but not surprised. You kind of knew it was coming, and it didn't really help Green Bay that much, considering what happened. Well, we know what happened to Micah, but it didn't really help him that much, and we'll see. Again, the butterfly effect of things that have happened that made this possible is endless, and I could just go on and on and on. How would you feel about Dable as OC? I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe. I mean, you never know. Crazier things have happened, but that would be absolutely insane. I said best head coach in the NFC East. Yes, that's exactly what I said. Number one Giants fan. Jackson Dart's going to be out of the league in 4 years. Okay. Well, Josh Allen's going to be out of the league. Josh Allen should have been out of the league 4 years ago. If we're going by that rule, we're just going to name quarterbacks that should have been out of the league for playing the way they play. We'll say that Josh Allen should be out of the league. We'll say Lamar Jackson should be out of the league. We say every quarterback should be out of the league in 4 years. That's what we're going to say. Did he go to the Giants? He's going to the Giants. We are the best team in the NFC. And number one Giants fan on earth is saying this, not me. Number one Giants fan on earth is saying we are the best team in the NFC in the next 3 years. That's a bold claim. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to go that far, but it's a possible. I mean, I can't even say it. I can't even say it because it's just ridiculous to say. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it, but it's a crazy thing to say. I don't blame you for thinking we could be. I think it's a possibility, but it's true. Get used to 9-8. I'm all ready for 9-8. I am so ready for 9-8. I am so ready for 9-8. You have no idea. I am ecstatic for 9-8. So happy for 9-8. The Ravens fans will come in here and tell me that, like, oh my God, John Harbaugh, get ready for 9-8, buddy. Good. Bring it on. Bring on the 9-8. I'm ready for 9-8. You know how much shit we've been through for the past decade? And you talk about, well, just get ready for 9-8 and losing your first playoff game. And I'll take it. I will take it. I'm tired of losing. Let's change the culture. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Giants super. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. We were going crazy when the Giants won at 2-4. Well, we were going crazy. We were going crazy after that because the potential was there. They just never really got it together, and their team was never going to be good this year with Shane Bowen as the defensive coordinator. It was never going to be good with Shane Bowen there. That is what the right hire is. Yeah, that's what the hire is. I mean, if you told me we're going 9 next season, I'd sign up for that immediately. If you said, hey, you're going to hire John Harbaugh and you're going to go 9-8 next year, if you told me that a month ago, I'd go, first of all, you're absolutely insane. You should be institutionalized for thinking that John Harbaugh is going to be available. But then I'd also say, no, you're out of your mind. We're not going 9-8 next year. If we're going 9-8 next year, I sign up for that immediately. Immediately. Who do you think our offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator will be? I think Monken has a real chance to be it. I think it's not confirmed, but it's most likely to happen. DC, I have no idea. And I'm sure Harbaugh will get asked about that in this press conference, and he'll probably shut it down and whatever, but I think Monken would be great. But for DC, I really just don't know. I trust Harbaugh to pick his guys. I really do. I trust him. I mean, give him the keys to the castle. You're paying him $100 million over 5 years. Look, if John Harbaugh showed up to your franchise, if he showed up to your headquarters, you whip out that blank checkbook. You go to the best Mediterranean restaurant in town. You sit in the wine cellar. You wine and dine his ass off. You get him to stay there without leaving, without signing a contract or agreeing to a deal. You do that all day, every day, and they did it. So you got to give credit to the organization. You got to give credit to the Giants. I know. Do you think $100 million was overpay? I don't give a fuck how much they paid him. Don't come out of my pocket. I don't give a fuck. It coming out of their pocket. Think I give a fuck about how much they're paying him? I don't give a fuck. They could pay him $1 trillion. I don't care. Who cares? This organization, the New York Giants, are one of the most profitable organizations in the world. Regardless of how bad they've been over the past decade, they are still one of the top franchises in the world. Sports franchises, one of the top. I don't give a fuck how much they're paying John Harbaugh. Pay him as much as he wants. Whip out the blank checkbook. I don't care. Do whatever you can do to get him in the building and get him there. Because again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, these opportunities don't come out very often. They don't appear very often. You don't get a John Harbaugh in the head coaching circuit every year. It does not happen. Head coaches don't stay in their organizations for 18 years. That's why it's such a big deal that he left. That's why it's such a big deal that Tomlin stepped down, because that shit don't happen. It only happens when there's really, at a time, it's just kind of run its course. So, it's just the way it is. So I don't really care how much they paid him. It doesn't come out of my pocket. It comes out of theirs. I could care less. What do you think about bringing back Jermaine Illuminor? I'm in love with it. I think Illuminor wants to be here. I think he's a pretty big reason for the offensive line stability and success over the past year. I love Illuminor back. I think he's great. Gav says, it's hype. I'm hype. It's a great move. Great football coming to the NYG. Let's go, Gav. Let's go right now. Number one Giants fan on earth. What do you think they do? What do you think if they sign Tyler Linderbaum? That would be huge. I think regardless, number one Giants fan on earth, they should have a center competition. You cannot go into the year next year thinking that JMS is going to be your starter. You can't do it. You just can't. You need to have some competition there. And you need to have a little bit of a battle because it needs to happen. You can't go into next year thinking that JMS is going to be your center. J Card says 17-0 next season. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. That means I've been live for an hour. Very nice. Hearing him and likely will come. Well, we'll see what happens. I think Linderbaum is. I see Linderbaum signing as a possibility. Likely, I don't really think he will, but we'll see. Going to be a team to watch out for next year. I love Payton. Yes. I think so. Not saying they'll make it the playoffs, but I'm saying that it changes some things. It really, really does. Caleb Downs needs to be our first round pick. We'll see. We'll see if they want to get Tate. We'll see if they really want to get Tyson or Downs. I think that those are probably the top three guys: Downs, Tate, Tyson. Yeah. Round one prediction. I'm saying Tate. I'm not Tate. I'm sorry. I'm saying Downs. I said Downs a month ago. I think this makes it even more likelier to happen. I think Caleb Downs is going to be a New York Giant come April. You're hearing it now. You're hearing it here. You're hearing it first. I made this predict. I have the same feeling as I did with Abdul Carter, with Malik Neighbors. I just got a feeling that Caleb Downs is going to be a Giant. I just do. If AAA Rod said, this is a good question, because when did he get fired? I mean, Harbaugh got fired 9 days ago, 10 days ago. 9 days ago, we were not talking about this. I made a video as soon as he got fired saying, oh my God, this is it. For my second choice, I liked Shula. I liked Kubak. And Stefanski was the other guy that I think that if he came here, I think I would be okay with it. Nobody was in the realm of John Harbaugh. Nobody even came close. Not Stefanski, not any of the first-time coordinators. Nobody. Nobody was in the same atmosphere as John Harbaugh as a potential head coach for this team when it became available. Teams with head coaches. Let me say it again. Teams that already have head coaches on their team called John Harbaugh to say what's up. They were cheating on their head coaches. They were cheating. They were going behind their boys' back and cheating. They were texting the side piece. They were calling up the side piece. That's how insane this guy's pull was. It's incredible. A John Harbaugh does not appear every year. It does not happen. It does not happen. There's definitely one head coach that is better than all the rest that's coming out in the circuit, but there's no one like a John Harbaugh type of guy. Nobody. Do you think Brasillo stays? I hope, but we'll see. Harbaugh might want his own staff. Might be just raps for everyone else. I don't know. I have no idea. People will ask about that. I'm sure the media's got to get some very good questions for Harbaugh. What I would ask Harbaugh, I would ask him, I know when I ask this question, I'm just saying this out loud. I would ask Harbaugh why the Giants to start, just to get that out of the way. He'll probably give a good answer for that. He'll bring up Jackson Dart. He'll bring up, the history, the pieces here. Obviously, you ask him about the OC and DC. You ask him about the draft, I'm sure. You ask him about some players on the roster, maybe I don't know. They're going to have to do some very good questions about his press conference. Dart was part of it as well as the front seven. Oh, absolutely. Dart was a major part of it. I think the New York Giants, just as an organization, was a big part of it. The Giants are still the Giants, no matter what you say, no matter how bad we suck. The Giants are still a cornerstone franchise in the league. It's a destination for coaches that if you succeed in New York, it is unlike anything else in the world. It is. If you succeed here, You are royalty. You are royalty. So if you have success in New York, it is absolutely major. But yeah, I mean, it's Dart. It's just the organization. I'm sure that people called him and sung. I know Eli did. Eli sung the Giants' praises. Maybe Tom Coughlin, Brian Dable, even, which is a shocker. Thank you, Brian Dable. And the other pieces, Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors, like those guys just don't appear off those guys are just, they don't grow on trees. Like those dudes are special guys and they don't appear on every team. So when you have a team with pieces in different places, Giants still have a lot of issues. I'm not an idiot. I'm very well aware, but you're excited about it, and there's a reason why he picked this destination. And I think it had to do with the fact that they weren't starting from a complete rebuild. They weren't starting from scratch. They don't have to really build around a quarterback in the way that they have to build around a Cam Ward, that they really have to start everything from scratch. O-line, wide receivers, running, like they have to start from scratch. The Giants, you don't have to do that. You are in a good place where you're in the middle portion of your rebuild now. You know, you add John Harbaugh and you excel that, and you continue with a good draft and a good free agency, and you might, and more likely than not, are going to have success next year. And JJ says, will Harbaugh have success of OCDC? Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's going to be his pick. I mean, he's going to have the keys to the castle. And it was enough. And I guess, Joe Shane convinced him enough to say, look, I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to be collaborative. I'm willing to listen to what you got to say and do it. So, yeah, I mean, that's all true. So Harbaugh's absolutely going to have the complete say on his head coach, who his OC and DC are going to be. AA Rod says they need to control the locker room. It all starts with cultivating accountability. I mean, absolutely. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. I mean, that's where it all begins. They need to establish accountability. They really do. Who do you think is fit for the job now? I think Monken is very likely to be the OC, and the DC is kind of up in the air, but we will see who that is. I'm not exactly sure, but that's Giants fans, win, lose, still my team. Yeah. Yeah. Still the team. Still the New York Giants, win or lose. Still a fan, win or lose. But look, it's been a long time coming since you could say that it is really, you think about this team in a positive light. You think about this team just for the future. You really think about it in a positive aspect. And it's true. Like, this could change everything. I'm not saying it definitively will, but it really has the potential to change everything. It has the potential to turn this franchise around in a way we haven't seen in a long time. And, if Ravens fans say, we'll get used to 9-8, I'm ready for 9-8. I'm all ready for it. You know how long we've waited for 9-8? How long we've waited for that? If that happens, we're happy. You know what I'm saying? I believe. And look, Baltimore is Baltimore, and Baltimore sometimes coaches need a change of scenery. Sometimes coaches believe they need to leave, and unfortunately his time ran through in Baltimore, and we will see. I mean, I am so excited. I think every Giants fan should be ecstatic, should be elated. I am certainly excited, and this is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what a lot of Giants fans have wanted. Someone coming in here and changing the culture of the team definitively. The Big Bill says, thoughts on Moffitt come with him. I love it. I love it. I love it. Todd Monken is a damn good OC in the league. He's damn good. So if you can get a damn good OC in here, that's a win. Big J says, take care of him from a Ravens fan. We will do our best. Hopefully he'll take care of us. We don't really need to take care of him. He needs to kind of just take care of us because we need all the care we can possibly get. Tate will be a Giant. The Big Bill says that could happen. I think Downs will be, but Tate is definitely on my radar as well to be a Giant. Definitely could be, and could be a possibility. But we'll see. Jets have the worst in New York's history. They do. They do. And I wish Jets fans nothing but the best. And I wish the Jets would be competitive, but they are so hopeless right now, and it sucks. What's your grading on this signing? This is an A+ all the way. This is exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. And I think a lot of people wanted this. And certainly John Harbaugh wanted it. Certainly the Giants wanted it. Everybody wanted it. So it happened. And A+. I mean, as of right now, it could change, but A+. This is exactly what I wanted. And I can't even believe it. I'm looking at it right now, and I still can't believe it's real. I still can't convince myself this is reality, and it is. Who do you want as OC? Todd Monken would probably be the best choice. He's John Harbaugh's friend, and they clearly get along well together. I met Henry Hajnowski. He lives in my town. Hajnowski is one of the greater players in our team's history. Love the last name, and Super Bowl champion. Again, still can't believe this is happening. Again, nothing's going to come out today saying that he signed. My guess is that it'll come out eventually, but this is the reality. We're very excited, and I'm very excited about this. And if you're a Giants fan, you really should be excited about this. Because regardless of what you think about John Harbaugh and his past endeavors with the Ravens and his past seasons, he commands respect. He demands respect at the front of the room. He demands it when he's up there. You have no choice but to respect John Harbaugh. And a lot of these coaches that we've hired, sure, they demand respect, but they don't exactly receive respect because they've done nothing. And so we've just done the same thing over the past decade, hiring new blood, trying to find the next John Harbaugh. Well, guess what? Let's just actually get John Harbaugh in here to just fix it because we're out of options. And again, this opportunity does not happen every year. You don't have a John Harbaugh coming down from the rooftops every single head coaching cycle. It doesn't happen. Next year, it will be Mike Tomlin will be the white whale, because I don't think Tomlin's going to coach this year, because the Steelers have to if someone wants Mike Tomlin this year, they have to trade for him, I believe. So unless some team gets desperate, I think Tomlin's going to coach next year, and he will be the white whale, and we will see who ends up with Mike Tomlin next year, but that will be the guy that everyone is going to want. Condog says, Eagles fan here. I'm scared of the Giants next year. Well, Condog, I wish you all the best, but I don't. Best of luck to you next year, but I don't really mean that. All I hope is that we can remain competitive. All I really hope for is that we can be competitive in the NFC East. And I think we're on our way to being it. What we saw this year, regardless, we beat Dallas, but the Dallas win. We almost beat Dallas legitimately in week 2. They should have won that game. We'll see. This is the year to trade for Tomlin. Draft class isn't strong. Okay, Jeff, if someone is desperate enough, I could see it happening, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe Tomlin doesn't want to coach this year. Maybe he wants to like do TV or something. But yeah, I don't know. I think that you're right. It's absolutely true. Do you think top Heat would be our option? He could. I don't know. Again, I trust Harbaugh to pick his staff. Like, it's not like I don't trust him. The Giants should draft Archie Manning. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? The Jets are going to draft Archie Manning. I think the Jets are going to draft Archie Manning. I don't think they're going to be good next year, but I think the Jets are actually going to draft Archie Manning. Unless the Jets get Kyler Murray. But that still is a mystery. But guys, I've been on for like an hour and a half. I think I'm going to end the stream or an hour and 60 minutes. Look, I want to come on here and really just talk about, my energy is higher. We've had all day to process this information. It's as exciting. Celebrate this one because, again, this hasn't happened in a while where a head coach makes himself available or is available, and this is a good day. This is a very good day. And when he selects his coaches, will you be live again? Yeah. If we're going to be live a lot. I want to be live during his press conference. I don't know if I could do that on TikTok. I want to be live during the press conference. I want to watch that live. Because that's a historic moment for the Giants. That's a very historic moment for this organization. That's something we got to watch together. So we will be live for his press conference, whatever that may be. And when he hires his OC and DC, we'll be live for that. But again, playoffs this weekend. Watch the playoff games, obviously. No repeat champions. No repeat champions in the playoffs. I'm excited for this week, though. It could a lot of good games. Broncos and Bills. I know people really don't believe in the Broncos. People think the Broncos are just gonna lose. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. 49ers and Seahawks is going to be fantastic too. It's just going to be a good week. What do you want them to do on draft night? I want them to draft. I think there's going to be options that they could do, but I think they're going to draft Caleb Downs. I mean, that's what they're going to do. But we'll see. But guys, I'm going to head out. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes in the stream. Giants content will eventually pick back up. It's kind of been a little bit slow since we've sucked, and I was waiting for the ball to drop on this head coaching stuff. I didn't think it would happen this fast, but thank God it did. Thank God they got it done. Thank God it's confirmed that he's going to be the next head coach of this fucking team. It's so exciting. We need to go to the press conference. I'll go to the press conference. I mean, I don't think we're going to be invited to the press conference, number one Giants fan on earth, but maybe they can open it up to the public, but I doubt they would. But we will be live streaming the press conference. I think that's going to be what we're going to do. I'm so excited. If I'm free, whenever it is, if I'm free, then we'll live stream the press conference. But I'm so excited. This is a good day in Giants history. People are calling it the best day for the Giants since they won their last Super Bowl. I can't disagree with that. It's an incredible day, and celebrate it because you don't get a lot of these moments, and this is a win. This is a win. I think it will be Monday. Okay, if it's going to be Monday, it's going to be Monday, but we'll see. Let's go. Guys, thank you for the love. Thank you for all of the support. Appreciate it. Giants content will be up. We'll be picking back up soon as we talk about what John Harbaugh's going to do. Free agency decisions. It's going to be a very interesting offseason. Again, like I said before, this is one of the more important off seasons and one of the most important head coaching hires the Giants have had since Tom Coughlin, and they have started the offseason by hiring John Harbaugh. That is as good as a start as you could possibly get. That is the direction we need to go towards. And yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. So, guys, appreciate the love. I will talk to you soon. Giant Spire out. Go Giants. Go Big Blue. Peace out.